Hi, Fernando Joe here. Welcome to Life in the PI. I return to the subject of begging. Now, begging is going to go on in the Philippines, particularly in the larger cities like Cebu City, where I am now, and particularly in Colon, which is a downtown district of Cebu City. Now, something you may not be aware of is what the scam called rent a baby. Yes, you can rent a baby, and it's a common practice. So if you're begging, it doesn't. If you're just begging by yourself, particularly as a woman or a young girl, if you're up and able to walk, it's not quite as empathetic or quite as pitiful or moving unless you've got a baby. You add a baby into that, and people go, "Oh my gosh!" So it's a practice here where people rent a baby. So you pay somebody some money, and for the day you can walk around and beg with their baby. Now there's a woman who she was approached us the other night, and she came up to us as several of us were having some beers on the sidewalk. She's got a baby that she's breastfeeding. The thing is, I recognize this woman. This woman has been begging here 10 years at least. Now, her scam in the past, the other one was that she would come up to you and she had it look like a prescription for medication. And she would give you this pitiful look and hand you the prescription for medication. Well, okay, maybe that was an emergency, but the funny thing is that as I came here over the years, she pretty much, night after night or on a regular basis would come up to this table of the foreigners and present this prescription for medication that she needed, and she supposedly needed money for that medication. So I guess the prescription scam wasn't working for her. So the other night she was doing the rent a baby, and God bless her, but the woman looked a little bit past childbearing age, shall we say. So again, it's one of those things where if you're giving money to beggars based on the emotions that they stir up, keep in mind this is what these people do for a living. If you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, that person looks pitiful," well, that's their job. Their job is to look pitiful. They do that day in and day out, and after a while, you get to be pretty good at it. So you have to. And I think the other thing, like this woman, and my friend was telling me, he said, "Yeah, that." I told him, I said, "I know this woman. She's been doing this for years." He says, "Oh yeah, some tourist the other night gave her, I don't know how much, but I guess it was a pretty big, pretty good chunk of change that this guy gave this woman." So again, when you come here, it takes a while to adjust, to learn the ropes. And same thing like for beggars. Pretty soon you recognize them. They're regulars. They're there all the time, and not some unfortunate person caught in a temporary crisis. So you have to keep that in mind.